What is going on, my movie-loving friends? My name is Gilbert Ybarra, and welcome back to the Attic Review. Today's episode of Tar, I cannot wait to talk about this forgotten, satanic killer thriller from the early 90s that no one seems to talk about enough. And that movie is The First Power.
You can't go on killing forever.
You wanna bet? The First Power.
With this movie, we have got a serial killer with supernatural powers that can switch bodies and has a grudge against a detective that wants to stop him from sacrificing innocent people to the Dark Prince of Hell. With that kind of premise, it's hard to see why this movie was received negatively by the critics at the time. But we're going to talk about why The First Power is still loved by horror fans and why you should love it too. Quick synopsis about this 90s classic, and then we'll get into the highlights and why you should fear the Pentagram Killer and appreciate this movie a little more. Lou Diamond Phillips plays badass detective Russell Logan, who is a specialist at hunting down serial killers. And does Buddy Boy have his work cut out for him here? He gets some help from a mysterious caller, who is psychic allegedly, and wants to help the detective by providing details on how to catch the murderer. But she has a catch in offering her assistance. She begs the detective, no death penalty, please. Although he pinky swears not to push for the death penalty, he's still pissed off at the killer for shanking his ass up and pushes for the death penalty anyways. Big mistake, dumbass. As a result of serial killer Patrick Channing being executed, his soul is now released to wreak havoc on LA. Ooh, he wants revenge, blood, body counts, and now he is able to transfer his soul into the bodies of the vulnerable. Oh shit. It is now open season on Detective Logan, Psychic Tess, and anybody else that they know, because the Pentagram Killer has come out to play. They get help from the mysterious Sister Marguerite, discover Killer Channing's disturbing, incestuous origin, and they all get entangled in trying to stop this maniacal killer that seems unstoppable. What a ride! But that's all I want to say, because now I've got to bring up some spoilers in order to say how great this movie is. Psst! Come back to this video after you're done watching the movie. Everyone else, it is The First Power time.
We're just going to go through a very small door here.
The First Power is a horror thriller that I'm surprised many people haven't seen and enjoyed yet, especially considering its influence on other films of the subgenre. Just look at Fallen starring Denzel Washington. Not sure what people didn't like about this movie, but this is what I loved about this film. The whole idea of not knowing who your enemy is makes this movie eerie from the get-go. The Pentagram Killer already looks like a supervillain naturally. That is an intimidating guy. But then add in that his evil soul can just pass to any human that is weak enough to accept him. How can you fight this? And yeah, there's a psychic to help the fearless detective, but both can only do so much against the sinister foe. I enjoy this so much because there's danger lurking around every corner at all times. Logan and his acquaintances are never, ever safe. Both Logan and Tess are plagued by either the killer in random bodies or violent premonitions waiting to come true. Logan's partner, who is played by the same actor who plays Bubba in Forrest Gump, well, he gets stomped to death by some Clydesdales, and a fellow detective is brutally put on display in a crucifix manner on top of a bridge. Logan is even harassed in church when he thinks he's making a confession, only to find out Satanist Channing is merely taunting him. And also almost makes him into Hamburger Helper and an incredible scene with a ceiling fan. That shit is awesome. The scene that scared me the most is the infamous bag lady scene. As Logan and Tess are trying to comfort each other and unwind on a very high level floor of a hotel, something out of a nightmare happens. Tess has her back turned, and a bag lady they passed by earlier is just levitating at their high-ass window. I swear she reminds me of Pike from Buffy the movie, just flying around like that, and eventually attacks the two, and damn it, that scene alone makes this movie worth watching. What I also loved is that the killer made the protagonist look crazy. Every time they think they stop the killer, it ends up looking like an innocent person was killed instead of the murderer's soul leaving the body in order to frame Logan. Now the uncomfortable stuff. The history of killer Patrick Channing is twisted and disgusting. No wonder he turned out the way he did. Not to get too graphic, but Patrick was the result of a pregnancy stemming from his mother also being his sister. I'll leave it at that because it's very disturbing. Yeah, that's icky, but sadly helps the emphasis of Channing's motivation for being evil and turning to satanic murder to cope. You know, help deal with some stuff. Besides that icky stuff though, the first power has an incredible pace just loaded with scares to keep you on your toes, but also makes you wary of what to trust as a result of the killer being a slippery son bitch. Like I said earlier, fans of serial killers and the supernatural are gonna love this one. This is one of the finer thrillers to come out of the year 1990. And that is it for today's episode of Tar. Thank you for listening to all my rants and raves about how great the first power is. Please, let me know what you thought of it in the comments. It has been an absolute pleasure. Please like, comment, subscribe, share your thoughts, follow, and tell some friends about the channel. My name is Gilbert Ybarra, and thank you so much for watching the Attic Review. Smile, Tiger.